Hello and welcome to CU150, the show about technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Today is July 3rd. I'm Tim Montague, your host, and I'm joined today by Ron Williams, the founder and CEO of a company called Hoodle, which is a platform that brings together all the resources anybody would need if they want to build a new home, whether they're a buyer, a builder, or a developer. So welcome to the show, Ron. It's really nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Tell us the story of your company. How did you come up with the idea for this, and why the name?
Well, Tim, I was, for several years I worked as a realtor, and I specialized in new construction, and I worked with people who were building new homes around Champaign, and one of the things I found out is that the information that they need to find out, well, what are the neighborhoods can I build in, what lots are available, who are the builders, what floor plans do they have, and what are the products that go in the home. None of this stuff is really available on the web. We started developing the website we realized it was a big problem, and we wanted to develop for Champaign to solve the problem at Champaign. In the process of that, discovered that this is not a problem that's just in Champaign, it's endemic to the entire industry. So it began to morph into something much larger, and now we find ourselves with this thing taking on a life of its own. So,
yeah, it's amazing how slow some industries are to adopt new technologies, right, and new ways of spreading knowledge about the industry. And in your case, that was an opportunity, right? That home building and buying has not been very quick to leverage the full capacity of the internet, or even a fraction of the capacity of the internet.
Absolutely.
So you've been developing a platform now for a couple of years. You've gone through a couple of iterations, and I got a demo. You can see the platform at hoodle.net, HOODLE.net. So check that site out. It's very aesthetically pleasing. It's very easy to use. And whether you're a buyer, a builder, a developer, or a manufacturer of products that go into or onto or into the landscape of new homes, you're going to want to check out this site, because it really is going to transform the industry. And when you said that, when I witnessed the site, I believed it immediately. So I believe that the industry is ripe for disruption, and you have that first mover advantage right now. So congratulations on that, and for developing a very modern website, both in the look and feel and the technology. You're building it with Ruby on Rails, which here in Illinois, we're very proud of that technology, and it is very robust and easy to build with. It's quick to build, but more importantly, it's very robust and scalable.
Right.
So let's talk about the experience that builders and buyers are having today, and some of the specific problems that you're solving, and why this platform makes that process so much more efficient.
Okay. Well, first of all, from a buyer standpoint, there's to give you a little framework, there's about in the good years when the economy is strong, and we're moving back towards that from a new construction standpoint, there's about 1 million to 1.2, 1.4 million people a year that build a house someplace in the United States, and it is arguably, Tim, I think it's the most challenging personal purchase that anybody ever makes. I mean, you've got to decide everything from what neighborhood to build in, to lots, to who the builder is, and every other component that goes in or on the house. So number one, we're streamlining that process for the buyers, so where they're going to be able to go to the website and select from neighborhoods in their area, who are the builders, compare those, look at ratings and reviews on builders, and then walk right through the process of cabinets and counters and faucets and floors and all of that stuff. So it streamlines the process for them. On the other side of it, you've got land developers and builders and product suppliers that have a lot of money tied up in their product. They build a house, they build a neighborhood. Starting a neighborhood might be a small neighborhood might be $8-10 million, but then they don't really have adequate resources to market them well on the web. So this becomes kind of a big problem solver for both sides of it. For the builders, land developers, product suppliers, and realtors, and we involve them as well, It gives them a platform where they can very easily create content that is targeted towards one set of end users, and that's somebody who wants to build a house.
Yeah, I get that. And that statistic, though, I did not have any idea that we're building 1 million homes a year in the United States, um, plus or minus, right? And we're getting back to a state in the economy where building is taking off again. So you're born and bred here. The company is born and bred here in Champaign-Urbana. You've got a local footprint. You've opened up the whole state of Illinois now. If you're a builder, you can create a profile on Hoodle.net and start to showcase your portfolio,
Right.
and obviously your high priority developments where you're going to be building homes in the near future. Let's talk about the future now. How does this for you? How does this roll out? What are your priorities? And after Illinois, where are you going?
Excellent. Well, so first of all, let me say a couple things. That one, it is a user-created content model. So think Facebook, but for new construction, for building a home.
Right.
That basically, over the next few years, we will invite every builder in the U.S. to be on the website. They can all be there with either a free presence or a premium presence, but they can all be on the website. Every new construction subdivision will be able to be on the website with a free or premium presence, and then we begin to integrate product and service suppliers. We started in another aspect of the website, though, is that it's very geolocal. So it's not helpful as a buyer if I go to a website and I can see content all over the United States, but I can't see it in my area. So what we're really striving to do is to try to make a comprehensive directory, very useful, so that when a buyer comes there, they can see all my options in my area, whether they're free or premium pages, but everybody will be there. We opened it up in Champaign. It's gaining traction. In fact, we doubled in traffic in the last month in the Champaign area. Now it's opened up for the state of Illinois, and we're really focused on getting Chicago going. In about 4 weeks, give or take a couple, in about a month we will open up for the rest of the United States. So basically any builder, any land developer, or a home buyer will be able to come on the website, create a profile, and start interacting with other people on the website related to building a house.
Okay. And so I guess that's a blessing and a curse, because there are so many builders.
Yeah.
And it's like Facebook in the early days, right, when they were just on a few college campuses and focused on campuses and nobody really knew about them. And so how do you get the word out to builders? That seems like one of the first nuts to crack,
right,
to get a majority of them aware of and then interested enough to get in the game. And it's a low threshold. It's only $100 a month to have a premium presence. But are you gonna pursue like auto loading, for example? Just scooping content from the National Association of Home Builders, or what is your relationship with them?
Well, we've got different opportunities like that, and it's you kind of got to crawl before you can walk to get all the technology stuff in place. But we are starting to establish a relationship with the National Association of Home Builders, starting locally. So we demoed this initially here in Champaign to the local Home Builders Association. They called us back the next day and said, hey, the builders love it. And very shortly after that, they signed an endorsement that they want to basically get all their builders on board on the website. Now that is also happening in Chicago. We've been endorsed by the two of the Chicago Home Builders Associations and by the State Association, and so the builders themselves are telling the builders to get on board, and so that's one way that we're going after it, and we're going to target specific areas next to Chicago, and then in a matter of weeks we'll start in Dallas, Texas. So Texas is our next area. That's the fastest growing area of the United States with regard to new construction.
Okay. And I know that you've got boots on the ground in Dallas now with Matt Wavering as well. We're sorry to lose Matt, but it's a win for you and his family.
Absolutely, yeah. He's a great guy.
I guess they had ties to the Dallas area. I don't know the story there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know the full story either. I mean, Matt, he's a very successful guy in commercial real estate here. He was with Coldwell Banker here in Champaign, and
Yep.
well loved by everybody in the community. And
Very much so, yeah.
he saw what we were doing and said, "Hey, I want to be a part of this." And so it just kind of worked out because Dallas was our next stopping place. So he's off and starting in Dallas now, and he'll be responsible for opening up new markets.
Okay. So we forgot to answer the question about the name. It's as we were discussing before the show, it's a unique name. It's memorable, but it is a little odd too. How did you arrive at Hoodle? And let's talk a little bit about the early days of developing the platform and the challenges that you've had to overcome in creating the product that you have today.
Well, the name Hoodle is really, I don't know if it sounds like anything to you, but kind of sounds like Google, right? And it's for neighborhoods. So the concept is at a baseline, Hoodle is a search tool where people can come on and they can search for and discover neighborhoods where they can build a house. So imagine, you come into an area and you want to build a house. On the Hoodle website, you'll be able to go in and punch in, okay, we want to build a $300,000 to $350,000 house. I'd like a lake in the neighborhood. I'd like a park nearby. I want a basement, and it will filter basically all the neighborhoods where you can do that, and then you can compare those neighborhoods. So that's the name Hoodle. Then as far as earlier challenges and things that we faced, probably the biggest challenge initially was getting the right team in place. We went through several iterations of the website that we didn't have the right tools, we didn't have the right team. We started first in Drupal. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody.
Of course, yeah. Drupal is one of the more popular content management systems. But why was that? Why was that not the right platform?
It was extraordinarily slow in development for us. I mean, this is a very robust website that does a lot of stuff, and we had some very good Drupal developers who were working on it, but just wasn't coming together. We ended up pulling the plug on that project at one point. It started in Ruby on Rails, and once we did, it just started popping. So we actually opened the website and did what we call a soft launch in July of last year. Didn't tell anybody that it was available. It was only available for Champaign. We didn't make any announcements about it at all, other than a few builders. We told some of the builders, hey, try this out, see what you think. It was interesting, after 3 weeks of being open, we already had 2 builders and home buyers that had connected on the website.
Sweet.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. It was a good validation.
So what are your top challenges and priorities right now? Where are you in your development as a company, and what kind of partners? I mean, obviously you're looking for customers now. That's one of your top priorities, is getting those sales going. Tell us about that process, and what other types of partners are you looking for to take you to the next level?
Well, I mean, we are just now, I mean, in the last week, we're starting to turn on sales. We, up till now, for the last year, basically allowed people to come on and build pages and just use them. We've got several builders that have connected with home buyers on the website, and that's cool. But it's been validated, so now it's time to actually turn on the revenue and start selling pages. Probably the biggest challenge that we have is, to me, it feels like we've got a tsunami that's coming at us. I mean, every place we go, builders, developers, home buyers want it, suppliers, realtors, and just trying to get our arms around that with a very small team. That's the biggest challenge. So it's exciting and terrifying at the same time.
So right now you have how many employees, and all said, how big is the team?
All said, and most people are still part-time, Tim, but all said, we've got about 30 people that are working in or on Hoodle in some fashion. That's everything from operations functions to social media to product development, graphic design, etc.
Okay. Cool. Well, yeah. Once I got I've known about the platform for over a year. I don't know if it was a year ago that we were talking about the Drupal version, or if that was 2 years ago maybe. But anyway, I was skeptical, I have to say, of when you told me that you were going to build this on Drupal. and because I've been involved with some in some Drupal projects myself. But so glad that you got that challenge put to bed.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt that Ruby on Rails will serve you well as you scale. And that was one of the things that really strikes me both about the platform and your business model, is that it does scale so nicely. And it's way more than just a portal for those three main constituents. It really is a place where all of the manufacturers of products are going to want to come and play and be seen. The finance, the real estate, all of the service providers around this, the legal services. And so your streams of revenue are many at the end of the day.
Yeah.
The builders are just the very, very tip of the iceberg, but ultimately you have a very robust financial or revenue model, I think. And we're just talking about home building right now. There could be other construction markets, whether that's commercial or other, that you could segue into as well. Do you think about that, or what is when you think 5 years out or 10 years out, how will Hoodle be different?
Well, a lot of ways. I mean, we when I think 5 years out, it's kind of hard to imagine. I mean, we'll at that point probably be well over 300 employees. We believe that we'll be all over the United States at that point and be a branded name. And there are a lot of opportunities that are coming around it every week. I mean, one of the things we're now being contacted by cities, by communities like Monticello and others that are saying, hey, we want to be on the website. And so a lot of communities are viewing this as an economic development tool as well, because they want to sell houses, they want homes built in their communities. So there's a lot of opportunity around that, and that's one of the really big challenges, is how do you focus in, because we have to stay absolutely laser focused, like we've talked about, in getting to revenue and basically getting our feet planted.
Yeah. So how can people watching this interview help? What is it? What are the resources that you, as a CEO, as an employer, as a technology company, are looking for? What is the ask?
Well, we're getting into our funding stage right now, so we are looking for the right investors to become a part of it. And I don't know how much detail you want me to get in on that, but
well, say what you can say. What kind of investors are you looking for?
Yeah. Well, ideally, we're looking for investors that are either from the home building industry or people that are from the web technology industry. I mean, I'm open to others, but we're looking for people who can not just provide finance and capital, which is time for us to grow, but people that can provide wisdom and people that can provide additional connections as well.
And for their information, you've already raised a significant amount of friends and family and seed round. This next round of financing, what is the goal, and what is kind of a minimum? If I'm a is this something that is going to attract venture capitalists or other institutional investors, or is it mostly angels or some combination thereof?
Well, I'm very open to either direction. Ideally, my first thought was that we'd go after larger angel investors and look for people that could come in at a minimum of $100,000. Of course, we've got a detailed investor packet if somebody's interested in taking a look at it too, or could meet with them for a pitch and show them all the details on that.
Cool. Well, is there anything that we haven't gotten to talk about that we should?
Lots, probably, but I'm not sure how much more we can cover. I'd love for people to visit the website and give us their feedback. We'd love for people to, if they're interested, either from an investor standpoint or a technical standpoint, we'd love for people to just get in touch with me, and would be happy to walk them through them. When you look at the website, Tim, you see about 5% of where this is going. So I think that's one thing that when people see it, they don't really realize all the stuff that's behind it and where it's being developed right now. So
okay, yeah. So check out Hoodle.net, and thank you so much, Ron. It was a real pleasure, and look forward to seeing how the company progresses in the next year.
Absolutely. Thanks very much.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.